I don't believe in ghouls. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in evil spirits. I believe in assholes. Hey, if you're an asshole in life, you're a dead asshole. Some time ago, SPAT was investigating a haunted house. These folks said strange things would happen. They'd turn off the lights and go to bed. Next morning, lights would be on. Glass bowls would break. Channels on the TV would change. Strange things. So we went over to investigate. Well, what we did was I stuck my recorder in the one room that was presumably the most active, okay? So I stick this recorder here. Now we go and we're talking to these people. We're having a, we're having a couple drinks. We're, having a nice evening. I mean, we're talking, how are you doing? What do you do for a living, kind of thing. Well, anyway, at the end of the night, I grab my recorder and we go home. Well, I'm listening to this stuff. And I'm listening to this and I hear this undertone. I can't describe it. It's kind of like very bassy static. But it shouldn't be there. And I'm listening to this, okay? And I'm hearing, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I have software that can speed up the recording without changing the pitch, or it can change the pitch, or we can change the pitch without speeding it up. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. We're not changing the content of the recording, we're just changing how we hear it, okay? So I speed this up a little bit. Of course, you can hear us speaking in another room. You can hear us talking. And we start talking a little higher. And this low, bassy undertone is a voice. I speed it up a little more. Now, we're talking like chipmunks. And this voice says it's called sleepwalking. Heavy stuff, okay? So, over time, and over other recordings, I hear this sleepwalking reference again. This leads me to believe that these folks have to do something extra. They have to make an effort to talk to us. They don't just like talk and we just capture it. They have to make an effort. They have to do something. Otherwise, we couldn't record home videos, Christmas, we couldn't do anything without having all this chatter in the recorders. These folks have to do something, and they refer to it as sleepwalking. All right, this first recording, what it is you're gonna hear 3 sections. The first is the original, and it's like real low and slow. The second one, right afterwards, it's a little higher. And the third one's a little higher yet, and you can hear it clearer. Now what you gotta do is, listening to EVPs is kind of looking at that 3D art, okay? You don't look at the front of it, you look behind it. You look at the back of it, you look underneath it. That's where this stuff's occurring, okay? And you're gonna hear, it's called sleepwalking. And then he says, it's called sleepwalking. And then the last one is, it's called sleepwalking. And you're gonna hear that clear. Slow motion. So I'm recording in a location, and I'm running this recorder, and this voice says that they're not sleepwalking yet. I'm not yet sleepwalking. Again, here's this sleepwalking reference. In other words, they're not ready. So there's something going on here. They gotta take a little special effort. They gotta do something. They gotta get into a trance. They gotta do something to make this happen. And all the EVPs I have, and I got a ton of these things, I've never heard reference to religion. I never heard reference to God or Allah or whoever. I never heard anything like this. But one time I had a reference to Satan. And the voice says something about talk to Satan, but then he says, it's the way they walk.
Talk to Satan, it's the way they walk. Talk to Satan, it's the way they walk. Talk to Satan, it's the way they walk.
Another reference to walking.